MonkeyBreadTraining.tv. My name is Margaret. I believe your broadcast engineer for today. I'm here with the wonderful Christian Schmitz. Christian has had a amazing amount of streams with us over the years. I think we had like the 60th stream a couple streams back. So we're well past that now. But it's always a joy to have him on. Today we're talking about MonkeyBread Plug-in 14.5 release. Which will be, I'm very excited to see what's in it. Christian always has cool new things for us to sit and chat about. We do this 5 days a week, but we're hitting the holiday season, which means that we will be taking time off of stream. It is American Thanksgiving, so we're taking 3 days off next week. So we won't have stream on the 27th, 28th, or 29th, and then we'll be back to our scheduled programming up until Christmas. So that'll be happening and that'll be fun. We talk about MB. The reason why the MonkeyBread plugin has been on the show so much is one, me and Richard and pretty much everyone in our company uses the crap out of it. If you are a serious FileMaker developer anyway, you should probably have at least the free version. You should buy it because it's not that expensive and it does a lot. But you should definitely get at least the free version. There are so many little functions that I now live with while I develop that I literally cannot imagine not having. So even the anti-plugin people in our company, basically a lot of our databases will force the MVS to download. So they basically got the plugin installed by accident and then they began to use it and they're like, oh wow, this is insane. And yes, it is. And he keeps adding functions on top of it, which is why we keep having new amazing releases. With that being said, Christian, hello. What are we doing today?
Hello. I'm doing fine. And I'd like to show you what's new in the new plugin version.
Awesome. Looking forward to it.
So this is my announcement blog post to tell you that we have a new version and we are at 7,500 functions. What is new in this version? Okay, let's see. We have barcode functions. Well, we have barcode functions for a long time. I mean, 3.5, that's, over 10 versions. But I swapped out the library used to recognize the barcodes. You can now better detect barcodes. Okay, let's open an example. So barcode detection. So you have a barcode as a picture, and yeah. I don't know how could I describe it. You need a barcode with some difficulties. Let's say. Oh yeah, we have, for example, here, we have this little graphic of showing a lot of barcodes. And let's see what it finds. It finds at least, I'm sorry, there's some noise.
No, you're good.
Oh yeah, okay, I hear it. So we have a picture, it has so many barcodes. We may want to know all the barcodes here. Barcode detect as JSON, that's a new function we got to give you the barcode as JSON. Let's see what it returns. So this function finds a couple of barcodes, yes. So that's something new. The old plugin couldn't get you all the barcodes. So if you have several in one picture. And here we have a lot of barcodes and we return you the position. Like you see here, where is the barcode, top left, top right. So you can know where the barcode in the picture is. And the text of the barcode and the type. So we have an ITF barcode somewhere. Yeah, maybe this one here. And then we have another ITF barcode. Next to it, we have an UPC-A. So all the different barcode, this is this one here. And an UPC-E. Another one. So the order is here a kind of random, but it finds a lot of barcodes. Maybe not all of the types we have. So the plugin can generate 80 different types of barcodes, and you see here 30 shown. And the recognition can recognize some barcodes. So we have the list here. So the usual suspects. So the QR code is very popular. Then you have the barcodes for products in the shop, like here in the European or US barcodes. and then a few other types. Yeah, so barcode scanning is useful, and whenever you have something coming in from a scanner or from a picture the user took, maybe you find it on a PDF you rendered, and you can use the recognition function.
Extremely nifty is what that is.
Okay, so let's come to something more useful for basically everyone, and that are custom functions. So let's take manage custom functions. Oh, there is none. Okay, let's make a test function. So when you have a test function and you want to type something here, you may want to enjoy some autocompletion. So FileMaker doesn't have any autocompletion here for this window, and the plugin adds some autocompletion. So when you type something, we look up in the list here of the function names and the operators and your parameter names. Let me add one. We look up possible things you could want to type. So you see parameters in the suggestions. We also scan for the get functions. So you get all the get functions here, and this can make your typing much faster. Let's try to write something useful, maybe. So maybe length of pound1, whatever, and get account name. So all the other features, like you see the brackets and here the link to the help page are also there. So I think this may be useful for everyone.
Absolutely. That's going to be insane. I love that.
Yeah. So for the plugin, the 14.5, it automatically makes suggestion every time you type something. That was a little bit too much, and so the current build I have in development, puts in a little delay. So that may help people who want to type something without getting suggestions all the time.
That's nice.
Yeah. So that should be, I mean, have your Thanksgiving, and when you come back, you may find the better version with a new, with the improvement already. So table occurrences. So you may have tables in your database. So barcode, yeah. So it finds your table names and makes a suggestion here with double colon, and then no, what do we have? Let me go. Oh yeah, spaces in the names is something autocompletion doesn't like to, because I need to find where the name starts and ends. So
Makes sense.
so I am sorry, no spaces, please.
Thankfully, Richard has banned spaces in all of our.
Yeah, but here you see the suggestions have spaces, like that's the names of the fields,
Mm,
and this will autocomplete. Just you see, we don't know that this is part of the field name, so autocompletion continues.
got it.
So it has a little things. Well, it may have some little issues, so please try it. Report back any issue you find so I can fix it. And let's see what else we have.
Fantastic.
So operators, function names, parameter names, and get functions. So the get functions also work if you use German, then it's Ole, or French, obtenir. So I put it in for several languages.
Nice.
Then another thing FileMaker doesn't have, but people like to have, is a comment field for tables. So there's no comment field from Claris here. So we would like to have one. So let's add a special field here, table comment. And there we put the comment. This is a barcode table. So great. To save a little bit disk space, we make it a global field, so it doesn't waste. So we need to close the dialog to commit the changes. And now whenever we come back here, we see the plugin lists here the comment as par below the table name.
That's nice.
And there's a little tooltip. Yeah. So the tooltip explains you how to make it. And this can be very useful. So let's make a new table to show it again. So table comment is a special name. If you have naming conventions and you would like to have a different name, I'm open to, make a list of holy names for fields to use here.
Noted.
And let's just make another comment, just a second line and even a third, because you can have several lines of text there. So create, I make it global again, commit the changes, go back to the dialog, tables and test, and there just 3 lines of text do fit here. Yeah, I'm always sorry to report that this features as well as the autocompletion is macOS only, because on Mac I can extend the classes used here for the all these widgets are extensible, and on Windows I have not found a way to do that for the last 12 years. So the only thing we got on Windows is to have a little search field for the relationship graph. So like here, the list of things for Mac, and there's a little thing for Windows, like here, a search box.
Yeah.
But that's also just it's a control I put on the dialog without knowing what's on the dialog, Yeah. Okay, so we have the command field. Okay, close the dialog. So then we got tooltips. We have a ton of tooltips in the plugin. Let's go through the list. So if you have a script, let's say you write your fantastic script, and you say you use a field, set variable, let's say $test is 1, 2, 3. Let's say we set something from a field. Here's the description text. Is there something in? Yeah. So, and now you like to know what's in the field. You can just hover over the field name, and the plugin will show you that this field contains text and the actual text. For the variable, it would also work, but the script is not running, so the variable is empty.
Oh, but if you're using a global variable that might have something already put into it because you're reusing it elsewhere, it'd take.
Oh yeah, let's see. So let's step through this. So the whole thing also works in the debugger, so I can hover over this and see this is a number.
Oh, that's so nice.
This is text, and I can see the field, and yeah, just need one line to stop. This is especially useful because you sometimes don't know what's in a variable. Oh, sorry. Let's say it's test2. Yes, that's my script. Hey, oh, there it is. So, step. So you see, this is test. It's a number, and this is test2 is a text. So how would you know that if you just look here?
You wouldn't. That's super cool.
Usually you don't need to. You see, also here we have a little, tooltip. So in most cases you don't need to. And if you really need to have the value in a certain type, you would just call get as number or get as text. But sometimes for sorting, for example, or if you pass a value to add to JSON, it may be good to know the type. So where else do we have tooltips? Oh, we got a blog post for that. So let's go on our blog and look for tooltips and see. So we have the one in the script workspace. We have the ones in the debugger. We have the export dialog. Also here, let's show it live.
Might as well.
Live. Hey, export. Oh yeah, there's my window.
Mad about.
Export records. So somewhere. So now I want to know what field this is. Is it a global field? Is it a normal field? Is it a calculation field? You see here, you see a little text saying normal global text. So this is a global field, and here's a normal text field. So it may say, oh, a container field. And so you can actually know what things you export. That helps people a lot. So in this comments, you can also have your own field comments. So I can say description. This is the description. So change. Now when I go back to the export dialog, to find it. When I go over the field, I see also the description of the field. So this may help you to identify fields or know what fields are for. And back in the script, we have here, we have set field. And here for set field, you want to pick a field, and you may also want to know what field this is. And so the plugin tells you, this is a normal text field, and you see a description text. This may also help you to pick the field if you like to know this without going to manage database.
That's really nice.
Yeah, we're trying to show you a lot of things in this. Oh yeah, and a lot of work. The whole thing also works here in the calculation dialog. So you can see the field description of your field when you mouse over it. Yeah. Did we have another field? Oh yeah, table comment. Yeah, should also work. Yeah, the barcode table. So tooltips. Field picker, yeah, we had that. MBS functions, oh, that's also very useful. I mean, I have the functions all there. Let's say you have some, whatever, here, some call. And we show you the parameter names here when you
That's
hover
nice.
over the function name. Because you may have just here $C, whatever, $D, you don't know what this is. What parameter is which variable, you know?
Yes.
So you can see that. Yeah, the preference dialog also has some help dialogs and the relationship graph. So let's go to the relationship graph. Like you can select two things and then you can move them. And I have here a tooltip to tell you which shortcuts you can use on a Mac to actually move them together. So instead of always going to the button here and clicking yourself, you can just press a key combination.
That's nice because I always forget where those buttons are. Someone is asking about the MBS function tooltip. They say that's really cool. Is there a way to add it to regular FileMaker functions? I always forget what's happening in some of them.
Well, technically, yes, you could ask Claris.
Yes, but there's.
Yeah, sure. That's an idea. I'm not sure if I would have to, have a list of all the function names with parameters in the database or read it here from, yeah, it's certainly possible. Maybe first ask if Claris does it, and if not, I may check again.
Mhm.
You know. Yeah. So what else do we have? So we got a few new DynaPDF functions. Parser function to list and delete images on a PDF page. Oh yeah. So that's something people ask for a long time, but editing PDFs content is actually quite difficult because a page may contain a ton of drawing commands, and we have to look for the command to, let's see, do we have an example file? Oh, we don't have an example file. Then we need to make one.
Well, we've got time.
Yeah, that's your live coding, So let's see.
Yeah.
The find and replace file already has some code. So I need a PDF with a picture. What do? I take, I just make one. So there's my test picture folder. Let's just drop them on. So we have a few pictures. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, some nice pictures. So I save this as a PDF. So yeah, pictures are there. Next thing is I drop this PDF here and I run the script. It does not much. Yeah, it should replace text, but we don't need that. Oh, there's a script here. Delete all images. Oh, yeah, why not? I mean, oh, no pictures. Let's make something more interesting. Let's say we ask what pictures do we have. So we have a function to list the list images. Yeah, on the current page, list, and then let's say from the list we pick, let's say get value $list. Let's pick the second. Why not? And then let's just say delete image. So can again take a look. I need to pass in the number of the picture. So image. Let's see what happens. In the debugger, I'd like to break here and see the list. So let's see. We have the list, and well, this PDF has 6 pictures. So the list of pictures is quite, well, 0 to 5, because that's just the index in the picture table, and this thing has. So okay, let's run it and see. There's my window. So you see, one is missing.
That's insane. That's really cool.
So the plugin parses the content of the page, and it gets a list of thousands of little drawing commands, usually for draw a little bit text there, draw a rectangle there, draw a line there, and draw a picture there. And then we look for the picture you ask for, and then we remove this draw command for the picture, and then the picture is not showing.
That's extremely cool. I can also see why that took a while to get it into the product. That's insanely precise.
So, and the nice thing is DynaPDF recognizes that this picture is gone. So it's removed from the PDF file. So the PDF file got smaller. Okay, what else did we get? We got, color and text alignment for annotations. That's maybe if you work with annotations, it may be useful. Get a glyph outline. It's also useful for some people because you can actually ask for a character. What drawing commands are used to draw this character in the current font? That's something you could use if you like to draw the font yourself, use it for some, vector graphics. But otherwise, I don't think many people will need it. Also, I made it for a customer who wanted to know exactly some details about font.
That makes sense. The one person who needs it.
Yeah, and with MBS, well, it's worse for me to add something for one user. That's how I got 7,000 functions, So next thing, rectify document. I think we have a sample for that. We have, I think this is Mac and iOS. This is using the Vision framework from Apple. So we would need a test picture. And there's a script. Doesn't do anything here. So rectify image. So it looks for a picture. And let's just, where's my blog post? Rectify. So we have a test picture like this one. We do it live, so now I'm confused. Oh, the script should put it in the result. Oh, I have the debugger open.
Oh, that would do it.
Actually, the script was right. It was back in the image. Okay. So you see, we get the picture we had separated. So it recognized that there is a rectangle area. And yeah, maybe useful sometimes. We use it for the document scan function. You may remember that. It's a function we added earlier to take a picture with an iPhone and then get the picture into FileMaker, and it will detect the frames of the paper, so it can, well, align the papers so you don't see as much of your table.
That's still insane. That entire sequence was very cool.
Yeah.
We have a question from someone real fast.
Yeah.
What licenses should I select if I'd like to run MBS in a FileMaker server environment with 5 FileMaker Pro and WebDirect users?
The first thing is for FileMaker Pro, you need the seats license. So you would probably pick a 5-seat pack for this. And for WebDirect and on all your scripts on the server, you would need a server license. So you would need 2 licenses. If you like, you can get a trial license, which would allow you to test the plugin for a few weeks. And then maybe next week you come back to our website, maybe next Friday. So, oh yeah, we're back to the blog post. What else did we get? So camera scan function, very cool. Let's see if I find the picture for this. Yeah, you see this live on the iPhone, so you can see that it hovers a blue line over the page it recognizes, and then it rectifies the page and it collects all the pictures you make, so you can scan several pages, and then you get them back as a PDF to FileMaker.
What?
Yeah, this is a wonderful picture, a wonderful function for iOS. It's built into the operation system, so we just leverage it.
That makes perfect sense, but that's awesome is what that is. That's incredibly cool.
I'm always looking for this little, this Apple maybe adds a feature, and then somewhere in the framework, there is a little function I could use in the plugin to just show the dialog Apple uses to do something. So.
No, that makes perfect sense, but that's nuts. I know for a fact that Richard's going to want that.
Yeah, and now let's go to the next thing. So we have overlays. Overlay is something we added in the last few versions of the plugin. So you can have a window with a picture as a content, transparent. You get events, so you know when you move the mouse over it or you click on it. You can ask the plugin where the mouse cursor is, so you can build your navigation this way. Or you can just tell the user where to click, like you can draw on the screen, basically, wherever you like. You can use it to show splash screens. You can work with the transparency to make this fade in, fade out effect. You can use it as a banner. And recently we got this feature to load HTML page into the overlay. So this is actually a web viewer floating over FileMaker, you know. And it has JavaScript, so I can even click on it there. And you can generate the HTML on the fly, so you can have a banner like this, which shows for some time and then goes away. And I remember that an earlier live stream this year, someone asked about a web viewer
Yes.
and the
I recall
overlay.
that.
So it starts by creating the overlay, or maybe I should just close them all. So we set a frame, so you have to decide how big the overlay should be, and then you load the overlay, you load the web viewer and the overlay, and your website should have here some special CSS to make the background transparent, so you don't see it. I have a website here. Let's just go there. So this is my sample website for this example, and let's just inspect how it looks in the HTML. And you see it has nothing special here, UTF-8 encoding. It has this transparent background. Overflow hidden removes any scroll bars. And then we have here this div, which makes the red rectangle. And then here's a button and a GIF. A GIF picture to animate. But you can load whatever you like. That's what we do in the other example, where we built a little HTML. So here we have some HTML, looks like the one we had before, but now we have here a box which is gray and half transparent, you see, 0.5. And then we have two blocks of text, one for the first line, one for the second line. And this gets replaced here in the next line to the text we want to show. So we have here on the top, we have here our exporting and please wait text. And then we can just show this by replacing the text into HTML. Don't forget the encode, because you may want to encode some umlauts. And then we load this HTML into the web viewer inside the overlay. And we turn the overlay visible when this is loaded, so we don't see it loading, you know. And then here we have a little thing to evaluate after 5 seconds to free the overlay. So, but you can just keep it open as long as your script is running, and this is a fantastic way to show, you know, this banner graphics to let the user know that our script is taking a little bit longer. And you could even change the HTML on the fly whenever you need to change the message. So you could even have an HTML-based progress bar if you don't like my progress bar in the plugin. Yeah. Any questions about the web viewer?
I don't see any about the web viewer. I do have someone who is asking, thank you, are these functions, do these functions work in Windows and Linux environments?
Oh, that's okay. Depends on which function they ask for. So for example, barcode scanning works everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
The overlay works on Mac and Windows because, well, it's a user interface thing in FileMaker Pro. All our little developer helper functions are for Mac, except the relationship graph search, which also exists for Windows. The rectify function is made by Apple, so it's only for Mac and iOS. So please check the documentation to learn what's going to work and what doesn't work.
Here you go. And also, Johan, like if you look in the documentation at the very top, it'll tell you like exactly which environments.
Oh, we have some checkboxes here.
Yes.
Yeah. Years ago, someone requested it must be bold on the top. I want to see it right away. So yeah. So if you go on the rectify document page, you see here no Windows, no Linux, and server only on Mac, because this function is written by Apple and it uses their machine learning stuff. And so if Microsoft has such a function, I may also add it to the plugin. But I'm not aware that they have one. Let's go to more things. Oh yeah, process list. The process list function is, well, what could it do? It could list what processes are running. Let's see. Yeah, I got a long list here. So I see which applications are running on the computer as a big JSON. I see things like where they are, what their name are, process IDs. And so I can look if a certain application is running by just checking if it's in the JSON.
That's nice.
And this function got updated to work on Linux. Because we had Mac and Windows, and then someone noticed, oh, it's missing on Linux, and we need it. So I just, well, spent a few hours and added a function for Linux. Yeah, you can use perform script on server to run this on the server side, and then you can list all the processes running on the server, and you can see what's running there, and maybe you get surprised and find a Bitcoin miner that someone installed.
You never know.
So, yeah, it's more like when we do some scripting, we may launch an application and then wait for it to be finished launching, or we start some process in the background and we want to know whether it's finished already. So we may want to check the process list for some information. And I think we also have some, not all values are available everywhere, but I think it can be useful. So next thing we have is a little math function. So in Excel and other spreadsheet tools, there's a rate function to calculate the interest rate for some transaction. And you can do that with the plugin now because, well, this function is not built into FileMaker, and some people need to calculate interest rates in the FileMaker solution, just like Excel does. And we made sure with some testing that it gets the same values as Excel, so you can calculate here the monthly monthly rate for, let's say, paying back a loan. It can also be used to calculate what customers would pay to buy a product with rates. So next thing is, oh yeah, if you are in Switzerland, you may use the MBS functions to create a barcode for payments.
Oh.
I don't know if you have that in the US, but in Germany or in Europe in general, a lot of invoices already have a barcode which you can scan in your online banking app on the phone. So it pre-fills the wire bank transfer and you can directly hit pay.
No, we are behind the times on that one, or at least if we can do that, my bank can't.
Okay, so I often get a bill, and then I can just scan the QR code with my banking app and have it paid in a few clicks. Yeah, and always be careful to check if the bank account number in the app is the same as on the paper. Some bad guys replace the barcodes with their own.
That wouldn't surprise me.
So the thing is, for the Swiss people, in the barcodes for Switzerland, you are not supposed to have some characters outside of some specific ranges. So this is a list of allowed characters. any other character gets, well, causes an error in your banking app. So it's not, well, doesn't adhere the standard. So you can send in whatever text the user put into the field, and then the plugin will filter it and give you back the codes that are allowed. And we even have some translations there. So some characters which are not allowed are replaced with characters that are allowed, like here the 1/4 character gets replaced by 1/4. And here the smaller, no, equals or smaller sign gets then changed into 2 characters. But other not allowed characters are removed, like the omega symbol. So it may be useful if you build Swiss QR codes that you like to pass through the text. Yeah. Yeah. So what else did we get? Oh, Word file function. So we got these functions to work on Microsoft Word files without having Word installed, of course. And new is here functions to get properties. So Word files may have some metadata like creator name, subject line, and custom property fields, and you can get and set them with a plugin. Just in case you
Needed that.
deliver. Yeah, and then we got a request for a list intersection function to take several lists and give you the values that are only in all lists. So it's similar to our existing list and function, but you can pass as many lists as you want. And we give you back the value that's in every list. Or
Oh, that's nifty.
yeah. Like if you have the list of record IDs you have, and then you have the record IDs from one invoice, from second invoice, from third invoice, and you want to know which, yeah, what record IDs are on all invoices. Yeah.
That makes perfect sense.
Okay. Then I frequently update a couple of libraries. So there's always a newer library for OpenSSL, SQLite, curl. That's quite some work to keep things up to date. And there was a new plugin SDK for a newer FileMaker version, FileMaker 21.1.
Yes.
No, so I did update the plugin SDK for that as usual. So staying up to date.
Yes.
So let's take a look on the release notes if we see something I missed.
Oh, update record functions?
Here, this ones.
Yes.
So yeah, so I have, I have functions where you can just call update record and you pass in file name, table name, some ID fields to identify the record.
Got it. Okay.
And whatever number of fields I offer, like I started with 1, and then someone comes, I need 2 primary keys to find my field. And next come, I want 3 primary fields, 4 primary fields,
Oh,
and even 5. So the idea is, of course, that you can update a record without using FileMaker's function, so you don't need to switch to a different layout, go to a record, modify the fields, and commit. But you can just have one line to tell the plugin, go and update the record.
that's so nice.
Yeah.
I didn't even know
And
it existed.
yeah, and you can pass now up to 5 primary keys to identify the record.
Got it.
And if you write newer code, you may also check out the JSON functions, because JSON, with a JSON function, you pass the primary keys as a JSON object, so you can have as many as you want. Yeah. So here we do it. So we use here just the primary key to identify the record, and then we use first name and the number to 2 fields to update. So, and this one line update calls are very useful sometimes. Under the hood, all the functions just make an SQL line and let FileMaker execute it.
That makes perfect sense. And also I'm going to be using that probably. The new window adventures and making sure that you don't mess up your layout context is always a pain in the butt. So the comment from Ken, this vision rectify is way cool. I can't tell you how many documents I've had to manually do this to. And I just built a little test database and it works fabulously. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah. Let's see. We fixed a couple of bugs in the plugin, yeah. Especially there was a crash with Python on Windows. Please update the plugin if you want to use our Python functions on Windows. So otherwise, do we have some more questions maybe?
Can you use the plugin to output a Word document directly as a PDF without opening the document in MS Word?
Yes and no. So let's see. We have a sample database here for PDF. Where's PDF kit? I think there was print documents. Yeah. So there's a little database to show you how to print something on a Mac with PDF kit. But part of this project is a script convert Office files. This script can run on Windows, Mac, and Linux and uses LibreOffice to do the conversion. So we write our input document. It can be Word, Excel, PowerPoint, or just an RTF file into a directory. And then we make an output directory. And we write the file into the input. And then we call here the application. Where is it here? And we say convert to PDF. And we use the headless option to tell it to not show any user interface and tell it the directory where to write the new file. And then we just execute this and we wait up to 5 seconds. So you may increase that if you have big documents. And then we check if it's done yet. And we wait another 5 seconds. And then if it worked, we find a PDF file in the output folder, and then we can import this PDF file. So now I would like to show you this, and this is live. So it may not work. So there's a doc file, and oh yeah, there's my. Got confused. Okay. So you see, LibreOffice in the doc is showing for a short time. And then we get here our sample document. Let's make an Excel one. So, sure, if you see that, let's export it. So this is my
PDF. There you go.
Yeah, let's make a more fancy one. Yeah. Export as Word file. Save. That is. Drop it here. Move that. Run it again. And you see we have here a colorful Word file.
Pavel's question, because he was the one who asked this one, is this is really cool. Does this require you to have any kind of Excel, Word doc?
No, it just needs you to have LibreOffice installed. And LibreOffice is free software, so you can just download and install it everywhere.
Got it. You need to have LibreOffice installed on the client, or just copying the software exe file in the FM directory works?
I'm not sure, but I would expect that the actually S-Office app is just a little, a little launcher, which then launches different models. So it's probably a directory full of little applications. Let me check. So when you open LibreOffice on a Mac, you see, oh yeah. So this is the actual S-Office app, and it's just 70K. So this is not the actual app, it's just a launcher. And then somewhere here yeah, well, plenty of libraries. And So the actual app is probably in one of the libraries here. So probably one of the bigger here. So you will need a bunch of files for LibreOffice. So better install it in the standard location so you can just call it. Any other questions? Otherwise, do I have anything else in my release notes?
The bug fix.
So, oh yeah, there was a dependency. So by switching to some newer API functions from Windows, I got a reference to this DLL file. And this DLL file should be on all Windows installations, especially newer ones. But sometimes it's missing and then the plugin didn't load. So you had to manually go to Microsoft to download the Visual Studio runtime files and then install this DLL.
Mhm.
So no, we don't need it anymore. And so I don't have this support case. Oh yeah, and SSL version 3 is disabled. So there shouldn't be any modern website which still accepts SSL in version 3 because this has been replaced by TLS version 1 10 years ago. So should no longer be needed, and actually it's not disabled, so can't use it anymore as a plugin. Oh, and then here, insert record CSV. This is one of the little helper functions if you like to automatically add, pass CSV files into records with a plugin. It got an improved detection for field types. So when you have some dates, like you have date fields, this should now work. And should we just test it? Why not? Why not? You need a database. Otherwise, if people have questions, I can, of course, answer a question. So purchase date is a date field. So let's say we have the assets table here. So our field list, I think this is a field list. Let's see, yeah, field names comes after the table name. So let's say we have a name and we have a purchase date. Purchase date. And maybe a price is a number field. So we can say this is here the name. And the purchase date is, since I'm using, let's see, I'm in Germany, so make a date here, and let's pick a price. Let's see if it does comma. Evaluate. So it made a new record. 3.4, 12, well, yeah, seems to work. Let's just for fun try some more. Let's void the date here like this and see what happens. Oh, it didn't get the date. Okay, so we basically ask FileMaker internally to do a getters date on the text you give us. So it didn't understand it. And I pressed escape, so my calculation is gone. But you can now pass in here values in the format that FileMaker expects for the fields, and then it should pass through just fine. So in previous versions, you had to have only text fields. So
Now you've got options.
this is now much improved, so it works fine with date fields.
Nice.
And that was the most important thing that people ask for on this function. Okay.
We have a question. For performing PSOS, do you need to install LibreOffice only on the server if you're doing those?
So David seems to like this feature. I think we had a client who got it working on a server. So you may try to do this. I'm not sure. You may check your permission thing. If you install it, it must be there for all. So please try it if it works on the server. If it doesn't work on the server, just run it on a robot machine somewhere. I'm not sure how well LibreOffice works on the server side. I
Well,
can't remember if a client got it working. Please try.
to be fair, Christian, you have a lot that you keep on your mind. All the functions that you have, at the very least, that you seem to have
Yeah.
memorized.
Yeah. If you have ideas, please send me an email or use one of our many feedback links. Like if you see a documentation error, there's always here ask a question. I think ask a question is a thing, and it passes on the path, or here report a problem, and it tells me which function you're looking at, because that's here included in the path. So
I did not know that, but that is amazing. I love that.
so otherwise, see you on the next conference, and if you like to buy a license, come back next week.
Yes, you totally should. You absolutely should come back next week for that. I'll hint that you should go look at it, check it out on the next Monday and Tuesday. Thank you so much, Christian. Seriously, it's always a delight to have you on. I think we have you scheduled next for the 6th to talk about Excel functions, because we get people that wander through and ask about that. Maybe
Wonderful.
a future MBS session on all vision functions. I know some of them have been around for a few versions, but I'd like to see a combination presentation on all of them. So
Yeah, sure. We have another live stream.
it makes me happy. Always love having Christian on. All right,
Yeah.
everybody. You have a lovely day. I will see you next week. We will see Christian in 2 weeks. Have a good one. Bye-bye.